Hello and welcome. This is Neela Gray. And my goal today is to let you know the reasons I started saying yes to myself at 75. A little background. I retired in October of 2022 after a very full 23-year practice with a group, and we provided therapy services, psychotherapy services to women mainly who carried a diagnosis of borderline personality disorder. Now, that work was pretty intense and all-consuming. And after 23 years together, most of us were aging, and we decided it was time to retire. Now, a big part of the work that we did was to help women identify a life worth living. And what I learned during this amazing part of my life, as I sat in my office with women, was that I could feel a lot of their pain and suffering because it resonated with me. Similar experiences. And that was a big anchor in my life, having a psychotherapy practice for that length of time. And so when I retired, I lost that anchor. I did acknowledge to myself that what we did was certainly worthwhile. And it did require sacrifice. And it also required not saying yes to a lot of things that were mine, that I wanted, that I needed. And when I retired, it was, I'm finally able to say yes to all those things for myself. Then in 2024, the world shifted in a whole new direction. And life became more uncertain around healthcare, finance, safety, identity. And some of those things that creep up on us so softly and evolve, we don't even know they're there, like brain fog and moodiness and anxiety and a sense of loss and maybe even emptiness. So at that point in my retirement, I began to feel a restless sense of urgency. Time was passing too quickly in my life, and I was experiencing a lack of purpose. And that anchor was missing. And so after 50 years of service to others, and taking care of all those other things that I needed to manage that were my responsibilities, I was at a loss. I had no social work, and I had no psychotherapy practice, and I had no contact with the multitudes of women that were used to be in my life. Sure, I have family and friends. And the amazing thing about all of that is I love all of them. They love me. And family, as we age, gets really busy with their own stuff. And they get really busy taking care of their own lives. And our friends are there most of the time, but not always. And sometimes that can feel kind of lonely. And so I asked myself, what are my options? What else can I do with my life at 75? And what obstacles are in the way of me saying yes to myself and what I want now? So here's what I came up with. I can lean into my life at 75 and accept that this is what my life is right now and do nothing. I can consider new choices and to redefine a purpose for myself. I could accept that my time for being of purpose was over and continue to allow myself to relax and stay that way until the end. What else could I do? I actually kept asking myself that question. waiting for my own inner wise woman to come to me and tell me this is what you need to do, because she does that. And a little bit of a background. I have a very strong mindfulness practice. I have a very strong and sound spiritual path. I'm lucky enough to have people around me who will listen to me. And I hope that you also have all of those people in your life. And if you don't, that's okay. If you have no one to process with, because I'm going to let you know exactly how I said yes to myself at this point in my life. I said yes to my own reinvention. I said, yes, I will do this. I said yes to finding a purpose that would align with current needs of women at this time in history. And given the chaotic state of the world right now, I said yes to starting a coaching service online for women, and designed specifically for women's issues who are women over 40, maybe at the crossroads of life, where you might be experiencing shifts in social roles involving health issues, rapidly changing cultural expectations of women, as we do. And maybe you're one of those women experiencing, here's my list: brain fog, emotional fatigue, hormonal changes, cognitive concerns, chronic pain, relationship shifts, retirement concerns, financial anxiety, loneliness, isolation, lack of validation. Well, I could just go on and on and on about these issues. All of us face them as women when we're aging. Now, I want to give you the concrete steps that I decided to do, and what I decided specifically to say a yes to. I said yes, and I made a commitment to start over. I said yes to making decisions and identifying the steps I need to start an online coaching service for women. I said yes to accepting I have limitations. I'm 75. I can't work 60 or 80 hours anymore every week. That's a ridiculous notion. I have to accept that. I accepted and acknowledged that I have skills that I can teach other women. I said yes to living every day of the rest of my life in the present moment. The best place to live right now, because we don't know what's happening in the future, but I can guarantee you this: if you live every day in the moment of your life, I have practiced this, so I know it works. Your future is guaranteed. You will feel better because you're making your future. I also said yes to saying no to toxic news, or whatever it is that they call it now. It's over inundating, and it is toxic. So I said yes to saying no by turning it off. Not that I'm not informed. I get a little bit and I know what's going on, but I don't doom scroll anymore. I'm not tied to that. I said yes to structuring my day with enough challenges to keep my brain active and engaged and full of energy. I said yes to learning, this is funny, to master different platforms and technologies as I built. And boy, that was a hard one. I had to do that almost every day because it was challenging. Now, helping other women with their resilience is my superpower. And I know this because I have become a resilient woman at 75. And I am certain that I have experienced many of the things that you're feeling right now. And I know how to support you to find your own solutions. I've been coaching women for a long time, decades, about how to find their own solutions. Sometimes we need a little help with that. I'm a good guide. And acceptance can be your superpower, And the learning to be resilient is another superpower. Now, the end of all this is, what is the power of saying yes to yourself? Saying yes to yourself allows you to live in the moment of your life by finding your own emotional truth, your own internal wisdom of the path forward that's right for you. That's the power of saying yes to yourself, living in the moment, in the now. And I actually want to say something to my subscribers. I hope you are hanging in there. Thank you, all 8 of you. I'm amazed that I have 8 subscribers. My goal on YouTube is not to get monetized. I don't expect that that will ever happen. If it does, oh well, but that's not my goal. My goal really is to help women. And I can tell you honestly, if I've helped one of you, that's enough. I hope to help more, but I can accept it if only one of you feels helped by anything I have to say or offer. And actually, in closing, I would like to say, I'm very grateful that you're watching. And if you're a subscriber, I'm doubly grateful. And every day I do my best to be myself, who I am authentically. I live my truth as best I can. And every day I try to do a little better than I did yesterday. And at the end of the day, I can honestly say to myself, I have gratitude for this life. I am doing what I can, and I accept that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again. Take care out there in the world. Until later. Bye.